Okay, 7th graders, this problem is to help you with question number 2 on your CR number 2. So it says Aaron lives 1.75 miles from his friend Roger's house. How far will he bicycle altogether if he rides his bike to Roger's and back for 4 days? All right, so here's Aaron's house. Here's Roger's house. Ooh, let's make that an R. All right. And the distance between those two homes is 1.75 miles. Aaron's going to get on his bike. Okay, I don't really know, obviously, how to draw a bicycle. No worries. He's going to get on his bike. There he is. And he's going to go to Roger's house and back for 4 days. All right. Lots of ways to go about this. You could do how far he goes in 1 day and then figure out for 4 days. That might be a good way to go about it. So it's 1.7 miles from his house to his friend's house. And we want to know if he rides his bike back and forth for 4 days all together, how far will he have gone? All right. So let's just figure out for 1 day. Well, there's lots of ways to go about this. Again, we could either do, okay, going there, it's 1.75 miles. Coming home, it's 1.75 miles. I could add those. Someone said I chose, someone's saying to themselves, couldn't we multiply by 2? Sure, we could. Okay, so let's add these. 5 and 5 is 10. You'll notice I've lined up my place values. My ones place is lined up, my tenths, my hundredths. 5 and 5 is 10. Put down a 0, carry 1. 7 and 7 is 14, and 1 is 15. Keep my decimal point. 1, 2, 3. All right. So 3.5 miles would be one trip to Roger's and back. So that would just be 1 day. 1 day it takes 3.5 miles if I go all the way to Roger's and all the way back. But I'm going to visit my friend Roger for 4 days. There's a couple ways to go about this. You could say, okay, if one trip is 3.50 miles, I could do 3.50. I don't even have to keep that 0 placeholder if I don't want, just to make my life easier. 3.5, 3.5, it's 3.5 miles. 3.5, oh gosh, she's doing it for 4 days. I could repeatedly add 3.5 4 times, or the other option would be 3.5 times 4. The distance in 1 day times your 4 days. Either of these methods will get you there. I'm going to go ahead now and practice multiplication with you. So don't even worry about that decimal point. Let's do a quick estimation. Just going to do a quick estimation. Pretend this wasn't 3.5. Let's just pretend it was 3 even. I just want to get close to where my answer would be. 4 times 3, I know my answer should be around 12. That's estimation. 3 times 4 will get me to an answer around 12. Just a little estimation happening. Let's just double check that we come up with an answer around 12. So right now as I look at this, I'm saying, maybe it's 14, maybe it's 15. Because if I rounded that all the way up to 4 times 4 is 16. So somewhere between 12 and 16 is our final answer. Okay, let me get back to the problem. 4 times 5 is 20. Put down a 0. Carry a 2. 4 times 3 is 12. And 2 more. 4 times 3 is 12 and 2 more is 14. But my answer is not 140. I knew my answer was going to be somewhere around 12. My answer is 14. And so you'll remember if that's 1 decimal place over, that's 1 decimal place over. But estimation is so important because if you got an answer like 140, you'd be like, oh, my answer's not even here. Can you imagine? Or, God forbid, oh, I shouldn't have probably said that. If that 140 had been there, some kids would have scooped it up and selected it. That would make no sense. It's 3 miles and you're doing it 4 times. 14 is a reasonable answer. All right, hopefully that helps. And also, I just want to say, when you're doing these videos, if you get enough of a hint, you don't have to watch the whole video. You just go ahead and say, oh, now I think I see how to work out my problem. I can handle this. Hope that helped.